I am sure that you want to be a leader who is known for your integrity. And I am sure that you are ready to go on that journey with me today. I'm Sandra Villavec, leadership coach and director at Glucose Studios, where I'm growing this business from the ground up, starting with tools to help us have a human-centric approach when we are growing businesses and growing ourselves. Starting with leadership is the foundation to everything, really. So I want to explain to you today the integrity tool. It's the most exciting and unique tool that I have to offer. It is starting to be used very rapidly within my work, and it is important to me to make sure that I share it with the world and that you as a viewer and you as my friend are able to use it on your own. So let's do a little bit of a journey together today and explain what is integrity and why do we want to have it. So integrity is not something that you can earn, buy, or even grow. It is the result of your actions. And being a leader with integrity means that people can count on you. It's as simple as that. It means that people trust you because you're consistent. It's because your actions are those that could be trusted doing positive things, because you know what the impacts of your actions are, and that you are trusted for not only your wisdom and your knowledge, but your ability to make good decisions. So we want to lead with integrity. And that's why we're doing it. We're doing it so that people can trust us. We're doing it also so that we're constantly exercising our self-development muscles, so that is our end game. So if we're going to do self-development as leaders, then what are we trying to achieve? And so right now, first and foremost, let's set that in stone. We are trying to achieve integrity. All right, so now it is time. I'm very excited to share with you the actual integrity tool. And I'll take a step back and explain where this tool came from. So my career, I've been honored to work as an artist in the STEM industry. And somehow through a lot of different experiences, I was able to sit with leadership on innovation teams. And one of my last mission assignments was to develop a tool that we would use for teams to assess when we're building new technology, what is the ethical implications of this new technology. And an example that we used in our initial training was a set of biometrics that would be used when we're doing Hell Week. So developing technology for potential recruits for, I think it was the Navy, when they're doing their Hell Week training. So how could we monitor their biology, how they're performing, so that we decrease the risk of having negative health implications, right? So they're being pushed to their limit, but we want to make sure that we're not pushing them over their limit. So these biometrics would be worn, they're wearable health monitoring technology during that type of environment. But when developing this type of technology, we have to have a broader perspective to ask, what are the implications if it's used in other scenarios? So this is a powerful tool that proved to be very effective when doing the initial brainstorming with the team to assess, are we going to need to have an ethics board for this types of technology? But when developing this tool, I'm now moving forward with a broader perspective as a human-centered designer with the hypothesis that we can use these types of tools for human-centered design in any size of a business, any type of business, when we're doing leadership development and looking towards the integrity of what we're doing. So in leadership development, we're doing self-development, we're also doing business development, and I believe that we can use this tool in many different scenarios. So let me explain this tool to you. It's called the integrity tool. And it's right here on the screen. And as you can see, it's like a Venn diagram. So you can see that there's 3 separate questions, but there's probably a way that they all relate together. And in that center, when we find commonalities of these questions, we find that that's like the priority or the focus when moving forward, because it will have the biggest impact on human beings. Okay, so here's the tool. It says, can I, may I, should I? Let me break this down for you. The can I is the easiest one. So if you're developing technology or a program or a process or developing yourself and you're at a crossroads and a decision point, you're going to ask, can I? List all the questions with regards to what do I need in order to do this. So it's the less qualitative. It's more like maybe it's logistical, and it could be a little qualitative, like what do I need in order to do what I'm trying to do. That's the first step, and usually where most businesses stay. But now we want to move over to now digging deeper and saying, may I? And this encompasses who or what do you need to ask permission to or for. So it's all about permission, asking, may I? So consider, who would I need to consider, because there may be some barriers or some roadblocks in order for me to do this. Okay? And then the last is when we dig really deep, and where a lot of people and a lot of businesses don't go into, when you're asking, should I? And don't worry, it doesn't open a can of worms. It's mostly having the lens or the perspective of who is going to be impacted or what is going to be impacted by what I'm doing. So that's the overview of the tool. But this tool gets used even more. So imagine you're at a problem-solving table with people, and you are a leader, and you're going to say to them, guys, we're going to have to implement this new thing into this team as well as into this organization, or maybe even with your family. Hey, I'm looking to make this decision and I want your input. So you have people at the problem-solving table, and each individual is going to do this assessment first on their own. So you can use a worksheet or a piece of paper or whatever and explain the 3 domains, what you're looking for, and have everyone just brain dump their questions on can I, may I, should I. So then once everyone has their brain dump on this, if you're with your family, this is different. If you're at work, then you can have someone like myself who's a facilitator putting this up on a big whiteboard so that we can make thinking visible and start to collect all these different perspectives, which is powerful, onto this board so we can start considering, can I, may I, should I for this project? Whoa, all of a sudden on this board, there's all these perspectives, and we realize that there's some things to consider. Once we talk through these things, and again, leveraging a facilitator to really keep the conversation focused, we can nail in on some commonalities, some efficiencies, and some priorities, and then take the next step forward, which is starting to say, we can, and we may, and we should. And then you have your charter to defend why you're doing it. So here's an example. We can implement this new technology into our workflow because we have this, and this need. We may implement this technology because we have received permission from this, and this group. And then we should implement this technology because it will have a positive impact in this way on these people, etc. Then you can start really mapping out your strategy with some of the other human design tools that we have. So taking a step back, let me give you some examples of how this is being implemented currently. So working with leaders for leadership coaching, I have a current leader who, after COVID, has found themselves that they've had a lot of rapid growth, and which is exciting, but there's a lot of toxicity at work. And so first, I'm going to work with the leader to look at themselves and do that deep self-development work using this tool, and then start to take some priorities and approaches when we go to the team to start asking some questions again, really with the need of getting rid of the toxicity. Okay. And then another example on an organizational level is that they're in the education industry. There's an organization that is a really powerful service that is available locally to our local community, and they received funding and they're looking to grow to expand this program nationally. So with that team, we'll start out first and foremost with this tool and then develop a strategy using other human-centered design tools with strategic planning and alignment of resources as well as timelines so that we can slowly scale over time using a human-centric approach that we're constantly getting feedback from these key stakeholders. But that's identified with this integrity tool. And then last but not least, this is a much bigger problem that we're dealing with right now. AI is being normalized into our global economy, into all aspects of society. We're in the phase of normalizing AI. AI is here, it's not going away, it's being pushed in on us and being normalized. So now is the most important time to start enacting this tool for integrity. I'll give you another example. So I have experience as an informal and formal educator. I worked doing NASA outreach for over 10 years, and I also worked in schools, and I worked as an innovation, design thinking, and digital citizenship curriculum developer. And so I have an answer, what I think is good for AI, but that doesn't matter. It depends on where the school is, what the culture is, what the support is, what the services are these other dynamics in this ecosystem to see how implementing AI would what would the impact be? And so for every school environment, we would use this integrity tool to say, can we put AI into the curriculum, or can we have students have access to AI? May I have AI in the school? And who should we get permission from about this? And should I have AI in the school, or should students have access to AI in their schools? And what is the impact of that? Let's look at that as a whole system and really move forward with the charter that says we believe that we can, we may, and we should, and then therefore let's make a human-centric plan moving forward. So thank you so much for listening to me about the tool. I'll continue to make more examples of how this tool is being used in a variety of environments. You are welcome to use this tool from Glucose Studios. And no, this is the beginning of my journey as the director of human-centered design with Glucose Studios. We are all about shifting perspectives, which includes amazing leadership that is filled with integrity, moving forward, solving the world's complex challenges that we have, and knowing the true value that humans have, that we will not be replaced by technology. So moving forward in a human-centric way, join me on this journey. Share this video with someone who it can impact their life if it had an impact on you today. And thank you so much for being with me, and I look forward to sharing more in the future. Moving forward with integrity. Peace.